If you joined our community on the high holidays, you no doubt got to hear some amazing reflections on the high holidays by some of our Beth Am congregants. This Friday night, we're going to do the same. We're going to hear a Devar Torah by a Beth Am congregant, Dan Rubin, a former member of the Beth Am Board of Directors, partner with Upstart Bay Area and the Shalom Hartman Institute as well, and just a wonderful person. So it's a delight to ask you to turn to your screens, and we'll hear words of wisdom from Dan.
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed. How many will pass on, and how many will be born? Who will live, and who will die? I never liked these lines. Really? I'm a Jew in a Reformed congregation who relishes Judaism's encounter with modernity. I'm proud of our religion's acceptance of science and how we strive to understand the laws of nature and the laws of physics. Who in good time and who by untimely death? I never understood those lines. There's a higher power that controls our fate during the high holiday season? I said these words during services, reminding myself that today, Jews around the world are also saying these words. But while doing so, I wrestled with the appropriateness of saying something that I wasn't signing up for. However, 4 years ago, something happened that gave me the opportunity to think about this prayer and the high holiday season in a different way. I never before appreciated the power of these lines. On Rosh Hashanah morning in 2017, I abandoned my usual job of greeting fellow congregants and instead went to Stanford Hospital and visited an orthopedic oncologist who performed a biopsy of a large bump on my shoulder. It was pretty clear from that visit that the results were not going to be good. And sure enough, 7 days later, he called me with a summary of the pathology report and the bad news. The following day, my wife and I were in the office of a Stanford oncologist who specializes in the tumor that I had, and she laid out the plan of treatment and timing of surgery. And she told me, calmly and professionally, that I'll start all this in 4 days, the following Monday, 2 days after Yom Kippur, when a hospital bed would be available for me. My wife, Catherine, who had been a pediatric oncology nurse for 25 years, continued the questioning and went pale at the discussion of the alternating cocktails of chemotherapy. She had given these drugs and knew the side effects. I, however, had no idea about these things, so I did what I always did during these situations. I tried to make a joke, or at least asked for an extension. Really? I asked the doctor. Next week? The Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur starts tomorrow night. When that elicited no response, I continued. Did you ever see the movie Brian's Song? One of the main characters asks for a week delay in his cancer treatment so he can get mentally ready. Brian's Song was one of the great movies of the 70s. For some boys my age and generation, the most religious of movies, and the only one you were allowed to cry during. Sorry, she said, I didn't see it. You don't get a delay. You need to start on Monday. And then she looked carefully at me and added, oh, by the way, you need to fatten up. And with that, at age 57, I had doctor's orders to eat on Yom Kippur. I remember that Saturday. For the first time in decades, I was not hungry on Yom Kippur. I did not have a headache, and I needed to use the restroom because I had been drinking a normal amount of water. And I remember sitting and standing during the services feeling physically good, but frankly wishing I could be fasting with the rest of my family, my friends, the entire Beth Am congregation, and the whole Jewish world. Well, I'm here. I survived the rounds of chemotherapy, the surgeries, the radiation, and even a relapse. My hair has grown back, though my friends and family said I look great with a bald head, and it is not yet written. Hopefully there will be plenty of time to wrestle with the meaning of inscribed on Rosh Hashanah and sealed on Yom Kippur, maybe modified to be on which Yom Kippur? But in the meantime, I now always look forward to not eating on Yom Kippur. For me, being allowed to fast is special, almost sacred, even holy. The whole experience is different. Yesterday, the headache from caffeine withdrawal was a reminder that I'm still here. that there is much to be thankful for, and that we are lucky for any year in our lives where we can be part of the Jewish community fasting on Yom Kippur. As we gather tonight on the Shabbat between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, we move from the metaphor of the finality of having our lives inscribed and sealed to the idea of building a sukkah, a symbol of the impermanence of our bodies and lives. As Rabbi Phyllis Sommer wrote, the sukkah is a symbol of fragility. We build a temporary structure each year and know that it is only meant to last for a week-long holiday. It sways in the breeze. The raindrops land inside. The animals nibble at our decor. We know it could come crashing down on us. The sukkah is a symbol of uncertainty. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. We only know that here and now we stand together in our uncertain structure. But Rabbi Sommer continues, the sukkah is also a symbol of hope. We build the structure knowing that we will celebrate even if it isn't perfect. The sukkah is a symbol of our strength. We build knowing that we are vulnerable. We build knowing that it may all collapse, but we still build. And that is our strength. Year after year, we build and rebuild. We share our fragile strength with others, and we grow stronger. It is exactly this fragile strength that has allowed me to approach the high holiday season in a completely different frame of mind. I now look forward to the physical and emotional discomfort as we move through these days on the Jewish calendars. I now look forward to wrestling with parts of the service I never liked or understand. I now look forward to better understanding the wisdom of our tradition that has also wrestled with both the finality and fragility of our lives. May we remain mindful of our weaknesses and vulnerabilities while we grow stronger together and be healthy enough to fast again many, many more times on Yom Kippur. Shabbat Shalom, and may you have a wonderful year.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for that beautiful and timely reflection on your own personal story, and as well as the challenge as we begin to think about our sukkahs, and we know the fragility of life is symbolized by the sukkah. If you're able, I once again invite you to rise. Words of Aleinu L'Shalom.